It is my absolute pleasure to welcome to the Rhema studio the Petersens. Guys, kia ora, as we say here in New Zealand. Welcome to New Zealand. Welcome to Rhema. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here.
Really fun.
Now, it's a bit of an apology to start with, because you guys are like fresh off the plane, right? You've just landed a couple of hours ago, a little bit of jet lag happening, and quite a lot of luggage, I imagine.
Yes.
When you guys travel together, that takes a wagon to bring all your gear. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, we have over 30 bags, and most of them are over 50 pounds, so that's great. It's a good workouut, so that's how we stay in shape on the road.
Yeah.
So
We cause a scene wherever we go.
Yeah, no, totally. And certainly it's been wonderful to have you here at Rhema today. But talk to us about where you're from. Branson, Missouri. This is the place you call home. What do you love about Branson?
Branson is a really special place. It's in the Ozarks, and the people are so kind. It's very authentic, so it's not a bunch of like flashy people are trying to be pretentious or anything. Like what you see is what you get.
So it's kind of like not Nashville. Is that a way to describe it? I mean, is that too harsh?
We love Nashville, and Branson is
but
very
it's not
different.
Nashville, right?
No,
Yeah.
I think both cities would agree that it's not. And the scenery is beautiful. It's on a lake, and so people just come to Branson to escape, and there's a ton of live shows, and so you can also have fun with the family, watching music, going out on the lake. There's a theme park, Silver Dollar City. So it's just like a really great family-friendly and honestly like very Christian-based community. So we fit in really well there.
And the thing that's remarkable, because we don't have anything quite like that here in New Zealand. And we've got a lot of beautiful places. We've got lakes. But having a community where there's not just one family bluegrass band in town, there's a whole range of that. Was that something which you, growing up, I know you lived in different places before you settled in Branson, but was that what you aspired to be? You saw other people doing the thing that you're now doing and saying, hey, maybe we could do that?
I will say, like, watching other families play music together is what inspired us. We didn't live in Branson when we started, so we actually were moving around with our dad being in the Air Force, and happened upon a bluegrass festival in Pennsylvania, and there were a lot of family bands there, and we really connected well with them, and our parents bought us some instruments, and we started practicing, not to ever play for other people, but just to kind of be a part of the community. And bluegrass is a passed down tradition, and so you just sit in a circle with people who play your instrument and learn from them, and we really loved that. And so we were doing it as a hobby, and then we moved to Branson, and we all went to school for other things, because you never dream that you'll get to play bluegrass for a living, but one thing led to another, and it was just an awesome God-given opportunity, and we're still doing it. So
yeah, I mean, it is a wonderful way to make a living and to see the world, and fantastic to be able to do so as family as well. You know, so often family grows up and you have different priorities, and it takes you to different parts of the world. To be able to travel together, to be a family together, to experience this thing as a family, that's kind of special, right?
Very
absolutely.
yeah.
We're still doing it, so.
Yeah, living the dream.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
And it really is great, because we get to meet, no matter where we go in the world, we meet like-minded people. So whether we're in Europe or New Zealand, we meet a lot of our new friend Mark over here. He's very similar to us, and so it's great. We have a lot of friends wherever we go.
When it comes to, I suppose, how it works, who organises what, who decides what songs you're going to play, even the decision about who learns what instruments and who's going to do who's going to take the lead vocal on that, is that like a team decision? Have you got like a hierarchy, or how do you guys work that out?
Not a spoken hierarchy. I mean, each of us have our different strengths, and I think when we were first figuring out how to do it full time, there was a lot of one person making a lot of decisions in one area, but now that we've kind of learned who has more strengths in one style or genre of singing or song, it's kind of just a natural fit that if we're learning an Irish song, Julianne will probably sing it. The Patsy Cline vibes, Ellen does a great job with, so it kind of just naturally falls to people. And then Emmett is fantastic at arranging, and he will often put a twist on things that we wouldn't think of, and so switch a vocalist from a song that we would have usually paired someone with, and it makes it sound completely different. So musically, we all kind of just try a lot of things out. But Matt does our bookings. He's kind of in charge of everything as a whole.
He's responsible for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
business
like, hey, we're doing an
stuff.
interview right after we get off the plane. Is that okay?
Yeah, and then Julianne does all of our vlogs, which is our kind of our backstage on YouTube channel where everybody gets to see behind the scenes. And Ellen's fantastic at marketing, but everybody kind of helps each other. So.
Yeah. Hey, Ellen, just wanted to focus on the. I mean, you had an opportunity to be on a bigger stage with a certain TV show, and in some ways, your success in that paved the way for the rest of the family, gave you a bit of a profile that perhaps you wouldn't have had otherwise. Talk to us about that experience.
I don't know. Well, American Idol was a great experience, and it was 10 years ago this spring, which is fun to think. It's crazy. But I don't know that it necessarily opened doors or paved a way, but it was a nice credential. So people that don't necessarily like know anything about us, they're like, well, and one of the girls was on American Idol. So it was just like something to help add to the bio. But I don't think we ever got an extra gig or were paid more money because of it. But it was like a nice thing to add. And it was a great experience. And we did learn a lot. Like Katie and Matt came out to Hollywood with me, and seeing the behind the scenes of that reality TV music world was very eye-opening for us. And we learned a lot about what sells and what doesn't sell. And it really helped us, I think, or at least me, solidify like, well, this is who I want to be, regardless of what might sell or make more money or be more commercial. Like, it feels better to be authentic. And so I think that fits really well with bluegrass and, of course, Christianity, which is kind of the lanes that we found ourselves in recently. So.
And of course, Hollywood, like Nashville, very different to Branson.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That is different.
Yes. Very
Both cities would agree.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose there becomes an opportunity and a decision, because each of you is ridiculously talented, and the Hollywood person may say, hey, I can see 5 different acts here or 6 different acts here, rather than saying, no, family band is important to us, staying together is important, rather than opportunities to do solo careers or separate things like that. Was that a conscious decision for you guys to say, okay, we may have opportunities individually, but together we stand, we do this as family?
I think it's just always been better together than it is separate. And it's fun because we still can do solo things. Like Katie, Emmett, and Julianne all have solo projects that are phenomenal and different than what the Petersens do. And so the Petersens doesn't necessarily limit people from exploring their own creative outlets, but I think it's a means to where we can fulfill like a calling that the Lord has placed upon our lives that's higher than the fun creative projects. And we're able to incorporate some of the individual aspects into the bigger group as well. But I think what we've been able to do as the Petersens has been really special.
Just wanting to talk and focus on the spiritual aspect. All grew up in Christian households, faith very much important to you. Again, sometimes that can be a challenge to balance the challenges of touring and being on the road and not being at your local church all the time, the challenges of fame and success and different pressures. Talk to us about that foundation of faith individually, how that works for you, how that plays out on a weekly basis.
Well, I mean, I know we've talked about this. We've tried to be home as much as we can, especially on the weekends, just because it's not that being at church is something magical, but it's being encouraged by all the people who love us and care about us and also follow the Lord closely. We are so grateful. We know we are very covered in prayer all the time. Our last tour, I had a group of people that were sending me a text every day, like they'd each picked a day, like we're praying for the Petersens. And so I don't feel like we ever leave them behind. They kind of go with us, and we would not be able to do anything we've done without God's hand. I mean, it's just been a miracle every step of the way. And I mean, we've all, of course, we grew up in the same household. Both of our parents met in a campus crusade. And so they kind of had a fire to their faith when they raised us. And so me personally, I've never known a day that I don't remember knowing the Lord, but of course that comes with its ups and downs and journey. But it's been really cool, like the body of Christ, everybody has their own giftings and that works together in a church setting. And in the same way, I've seen it in our family and in our band, everybody is gifted in a different way. And so in a way, we're able to kind of just highlight and encourage each other. And both my parents have always been so good at pointing that out to us when we were young. And it's just cool to see it in action. And we get so many people that encourage us on the road too. Our meet and greet lines after every show, we'll get so many people, this is how your song encouraged me, this is my walk with the Lord, and so you're constantly just getting affirmation, really. So
you're really loving that, and love the metaphor as well, that you could rewrite the scripture. You know, the mandolin can't say I'm better than the banjo. You know, just this is. Although, well, I mean, hey, don't want to start a family argument in this regard. Hey, I mean, yes, your music very popular amongst the faith community, but much broader than that. Particularly with your success in YouTube, it's taken you to a global stage, millions of views on a lot of your songs. An opportunity to communicate your values, your faith, and what's important to you, as well as your music, through that mechanism. I mean, such a wonderful God-given opportunity.
Oh, definitely. And we've enjoyed, and we were this before YouTube as well, but we're not a Christian band.
Yeah.
So we play a lot of different genres of music. And so we've had a lot of people be upset when they hear a song that's not Christian, but we love reaching all different types of people and then just sharing who we are and seeing what the Lord does with that. And so I think we don't want to play for all Christian audiences, and so we don't play all Christian songs. And so it's been fun for us to get to meet people from all different walks of life through playing all different types of music.
Yeah.
And that does have a great impact, because we've been to Ireland several times, and if we only played in churches there, like the church there is so small, but we play in the corner of a pub, and we do some of their favorite songs, and then we sing one song that has a religious message, and then people go, these are Christians in here, they're not judging me, they're in the pub with me, but they're still standing for their beliefs, and it ends up having a lot of great conversations afterwards. And so we kind of meet them where they're at. So it's kind of one of those, it's just wherever God's going to open up doors. Like that's the nice thing about being believers, is we don't have our whole music career figured out. We're always like, God, if you take this away tomorrow, we had a lot of fun. But he keeps opening up doors, like coming to New Zealand. We just got a message, and I was like, let's look into this. I feel really good about this. And here we are. And that's how easy it was. It was just that. No.
We still feel really good about it.
I know. And
Day one so far. I hope you're still feeling really good at the end of your tour in New Zealand as well.
But Emmett's family played music for 20 years together, and then him just being in the Ozarks where we were at, and then being available to join our group is definitely like God's direction for our band.
Yeah.
Aaron Clark is a great videographer, and he travels with us and takes videos, and we have all these people who have similar values, love the people that we serve, and it's fun. It's fun when you don't have to be in control of everything, and you can just walk through the doors that keep getting opened.
Yeah.
So.
No, that makes the journey exciting, right?
It does.
Yes.
Wanting to talk about, I suppose, the video aspect of it, because this is a different kind of world to how music was distributed previously. And you guys are a phenomenal success on YouTube, even by YouTube standards. Again, this is perhaps a different way of getting your message and your music out there. You're able to connect with different people than you would if you were just touring and filling halls and venues. A special opportunity perhaps with the digital world to connect with people online and have some of those conversations, to have their comments under your videos, to have them join your Patreon page. That's a different kind of relationship, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Very different. The videos, it's great. I mean, the music industry changes all the time. And so we just try to say, hey, how can we be musicians and reach as many people as possible? And so I think Ellen talks a lot about being authentic. So we by no means have perfect recordings of our songs, but we just stand out there in nature and we have fun. And then a lot of people relax. A lot of people tell us after the shows, they were like, hey, I just turn you on at bedtime, and it helps me like calm down, which also means that they fall asleep during our shows sometimes because we're their bedtime routine. But So it's cool that we're able to like just relax with people. So I think that's what does really well online for us.
Yeah, and a big thing that changed too once we started putting a lot of things on YouTube is we used to in our live shows, it almost felt like we had to introduce ourselves for the first 30 minutes of every show. Like, this is what we sound like. This is who we are. We're going to play several of these songs you already know, like all the common songs and covers. And then after half the show's over, you finally get to say, okay, and here's a special moment now that you understand our family. But once we started putting music online, so many people have encouraged us by really loving our original content as well. And they already feel like they know us when they show up, which was one of our biggest goals. We're like, okay, we'll go online, but what we love about bluegrass is you feel like you can invite someone into your living room and just play a show for them. And so we've tried to keep that consistent, and it's stayed pretty consistent thanks to Aaron's awesome video work and just Emmett's dad, Randy, runs our sound and mixes our online videos, and everything is pointed towards, hey, we like you, come into our living room and we'll play you some songs. And that has really transcended well. So people come in and they start singing along right away, and it's just been really special.
That is fantastic. And I think that's the intimacy of social media, that you are in people's homes. You are being watched by people on their phones as they go to sleep, or whatever that is for them. And I suppose when people connect with you, there's already a relationship there. They already know dozens of your songs that they've watched on YouTube beforehand. They're already fans in a different way than, oh no, I bought the record, I've been to a few concerts. There's perhaps a different way of connecting with social media, which I think is kind of exciting, is perhaps more relational, and maybe it just suits the bluegrass. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean...
We agree.
I think so.
Well
sounds
said,
great.
You guys are all pretty jet lagged. We don't have to go for complicated answers. Sorry, no. But hey, appreciate you being in the studio here as well. You talked about some of the music you write yourself. Now, if you do Bohemian Rhapsody on YouTube, you're going to get a whole bunch of views to that because people know the song and they thought, Bohemian Rhapsody bluegrass? I want to hear what that sounds like. Yeah. And that's great as well. Has it been, I suppose, a struggle to say, yes, we're not just a covers band. We've got something to say. We're wanting to bring our own voice, our own authenticity, I suppose, to this. We have some things that we're wanting to communicate through our music and through our lyrics. Has that been, again, a transition, or has that always been a part of who you guys are?
I don't feel like it's been as much of a transition. It's almost been a relief. Like, before we had music online, I felt like we were obligated to do a lot of covers just so everyone would have a good show. Your shows are for your audience. They're not for you. Yeah. But it's been really special getting to do our own stuff because now I feel like, hey, we're saying this is how we would like to communicate to you, and the people that are coming are already ready to receive that because they already like our stuff when they're showing up. So it's been relieving just doing what we feel like we want to do. And we've kind of always been that way. Whether it's been wise or not, we've thought about, well, should we sign with a record label, or should we, be on the radio more? Should we go to Nashville more? All these things. But staying in our lane and doing what we feel like God has called us to, just one step at a time, has really honestly paid off because we're all doing what we love. So.
But it is a challenge because people, if we're singing Bohemian Rhapsody, everyone knows the song. They're going to be entertained by that. So it's for like Emmett, Katie, and Jules, who are kind of our songwriters, it's a challenge for them to write the song for us that's going to have an entertainment value similar to that. Yeah. So I think that's the fun part, is being like, okay, these are great songs for these moments, so now we need to recreate this with original stuff that has a message a little closer to who we are than Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. So that would be great. So if you guys could get on that.
Well, and it's also fun to do covers. So the covers we do, we enjoy those songs. So it's not like we cringe every time we have to cover a song. We like doing that. It's just...
And it is a spectacular arrangement, and you guys totally nail it. And I would encourage people to check that out on YouTube as well. Now, Fiol, is this the first time in New Zealand? Do you have any sort of hopes and expectations of what New Zealand is like? Maybe you've seen Lord of the Rings and you think there's going to be hobbits and elves, or what's you hoping for in your time in New Zealand?
The one thing that we really like is English is like the common language. That's always great for us. Great for like our dialogue in between shows. It's warm and it's really laid back, and I love that. It's really nice that we can come and just relax because it's like the Ozarks where we just kind of like stuff's gonna get done. Don't worry about it. We're musicians, no pressure. So I'm really looking forward to that part.
And I will say, we meet people that travel a lot as well, and New Zealand is the one place that everyone is always like, best vacation or best place I've ever visited. That is like a very consistent thing we've heard forever, and so your country has a wonderful reputation.
Well, we hope we don't blow it. I hope you have a great time when you're here. And as you all know, it takes a while to get here. It's the trickiest place in the world to land in, but hopefully it's worth it with bringing all your crew and all the instruments, and I'm sure you're going to get a wonderful warm reception from New Zealand audience as well.
You.
Hey, really appreciate you taking the time as well, fresh off the plane to join us in the Rhema studio. You brought all your instruments. It'll be great to get you to play a song while you're here. What song are you going to play for us today?
I think we're going to do a song that Katie and I wrote with a good friend of ours named John Meyer, and it's one that we started last year when we were kind of on this process of time to focus on originals. So it's one called Morningside, and it's based out of the Psalms. And yeah, we hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I have seen the daylight fading. I have faced the eventide.
I have faced eventide, but tomorrow I'll be going over on the morning side, over on the morning side.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.